Okay, take two. Hopefully, we can make this work and we can hear and see everybody. For those of you who haven't been on yet today, we have Marsha Beals joining us. And we're going to talk about wellness and nutrition. I'm so excited. Marsha, if you're on, can you comment on this video so I can add you in? For some reason, it's not letting me add you in otherwise. Oh, awesome. Let's bring Marsha. Hi.
Hi. Oh, yeah, that was not perfect.
No? Any better than the last time?
Maybe it's better.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll start off. Tell me who you are.
Okay. Well, I'm Marsha Beals. I'm the health and wellness coach, board certified by the American Association of Drug Practitioners. I'm a graduate of the Institute for Integrative Nutrition, IIN, and it's the world's largest nutrition school. I was born and raised in a small town in northern Maine. I have two brothers and two sisters. My parents are both French, so English was my second language. I've been married for 35 years. We have two grown girls, a 2-year-old granddaughter. My love, Allie. My background is business and early childhood education. Because after I became a mom, I realized I wanted to be home to raise our kids. And since we needed that second paycheck,
Nah.
left for college, which was about 19 years, and then I returned to the corporate world.
Wow.
So my story of how I became a health coach was the morning of June 3rd, 2010. I immediately discovered I had a new health challenge. Because when the alarm rang, I could not get out of bed. I awoke with an acute vertigo attack. Yep, I reached for the phone to call my husband. I realized I couldn't hear out of my left ear. I mean, I actually hung up and called again, but I must have been listening to with my right ear. But anyway, with playing with both ears, I realized I told him I'm deaf. I can't hear from the left ear. What's going on? So it was pretty scary. He called my daughter. My older daughter was home, and so she took me to see what was going on. Eventually, an MRI was taken, and they found an acoustic neuronal tumor in my auditory canal of my left ear, and the tumor is blocking it, and that's why I'm deaf in my left. And so, of course, they sent me to the doctor. He was a surgeon. I'm like, oh boy. Any of his questions. All he told me was that there was nothing. Not an option for me. I was like, no, that's will be the last resort. I'm sorry. And, I left there. I'm like, I need answers. I can't just sit around and wait and do nothing. So I took my immediate steps. I realized my body was telling me something. I knew my body was sick. So I decided to listen and do something about it. So I began my journey to get to the root of the problem because I just needed to have those answers. So I started studying holistic nutrition, the preventative care to illness at IIN, and I slowly changed my lifestyle to improve my health and by implementing this education. And through my education and implementation, I experienced bringing my body back from illness to wellness naturally, with the focus on learning more about the effect food has on your body. I realized food does matter. And that's how I came up with the name Natural Beauty from Within. A quote from Hippocrates says, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. It's a natural approach to optimal health. Inside out.
Nice. That's amazing.
So ironically, yeah. Oh, I think you're trying to ask me something and I keep talking.
Is your ear still?
I don't know if you're asking something.
Your ear?
Yes, it's yeah. So the watching and waiting did happen. I had to go every 6 months to get another MRI. So they were watching it. He explained to me that it's a benign tumor and it was a slow growing tumor. I don't know if you can, should I wait for your question? Okay, so yeah, benign, slow growing, an MRI every 6 months. And, doing my healthy lifestyle, I believe, helped slow the process of the tumor's growth. But if the doctor, after a while, the surgeon, after a while, gave me pressure, decide, because to him it was still growing. And I said, but it's slowing down, give me some time. And it was, so I had to make a decision, and I did have cyberknife radiation. And that was to kill it so it wouldn't grow anymore. And I said, well, that'll take the surgeon off my back. Let's just kill it. It won't grow anymore. So, yep, I wanted my ear left alone, didn't want it to be cut, didn't want to take a chance of the risks of surgery cutting the facial nerve, which is close to it, they told me, and I didn't want to be paralyzed on my left side, so that's why I chose cyberknife, which was less evasive. It's
nice.
Better the choices for me.
Nice.
Yeah, but ironically, it was a blessing in disguise, to have been pushed away by the doctor by saying there's nothing I can do for you. Because since being on this journey to optimal health, I'm healthier than I've ever been. And, becoming a health and wellness coach allows me now to pay it forward, helping others with their health challenges, no matter what it is, any health challenge. All right, you're frozen. So I'm gonna ask, have any of you seen the cartoon? It's a woman that goes to the farm stand, and the farmer is giving her a head of leafy greens. And he says, take one a day with tomato and cucumber. Okay, so this is what I discovered, the root of the problem. The idea of pharmacy versus pharmacy, the FARM versus PARM. Okay, so it's realizing the benefits of proactive care, self-healing through wholesome and nutritious food consumption instead of being dependent on artificial substances that create havoc in our body, and along with medical bills down the road eventually for some or most people. Our bodies can heal itself if we feed it whole foods, foods from nature, not a factory. So that's the eye-opening education, nutrition education I received. That food does matter, and what we feed our body does affect our gut.
So,
and there's another quote from Hippocrates. I don't hear anything. I'm sorry. No. I didn't want to keep silent.
Right.
All right. Another quote from the Hippocrates is, "All disease begins within the gut." So taking care of our digestive system is important to our health and well-being, because if your gut is suffering, everything else suffers too. And maybe people have a question about, well, how do you keep your gut healthy, or what makes an unhealthy gut? So let me ask you another question. What do you get when you mix flour and water? And I probably won't hear your response unless someone wants to type it in. So we'll get back to that. I'm going to explain our small intestines. They contain thousands of villi that absorbs nutrients. Now the villi are a little finger-like, all right? And they allow nutrients to be deposited around the body by the bloodstream. And its job is to block toxic chemicals from entering. So now, let's go back to the water and flour mixture. It makes glue. Do you remember back in the day? I don't know, my teachers used to make glue out of flour and water. So if you consume food that have white flour in the water, it'll be like glue. So the villi will start to close and start to close. Okay, so continuing to eat poorly over time, your gut lining will get inflamed, become more porous, like a fishing net with holes, will cause beginning stages of a leaky gut. And that's when your villi are not absorbing nutrients. So when they're glued together, they're not absorbing nutrients. So that now toxic chemicals will start leaking from your gut into your blood. And your blood carries toxins to the liver, which is our filter. So our body doesn't recognize these foreign objects, and it starts an inflammatory reaction. So whether you're suffering from digestive issues, food allergies, sensitivities, headaches, mood issues, skin problems, anxiety, depression, menstrual cramps, fatigue, poor memory, back pain, any autoimmune disease, frequent colds, it goes on and on. No matter what issues, all of these are caused by having an unhealthy gut, or also known as a leaky gut. So we all need to do a health check on our gut and get it thriving again. And we can do that by cleaning up our diet, focus on eating healthy foods like whole grains, lean proteins, lots and lots of cleansing vegetables. Think about it as getting an oil change and a clean filter for your car. It helps it run better. So what do you get? Oil change every 3 months. I tell my clients, if you can't do every 3 months of a clean eating, cleansing diet where you're really concentrating on doing it, because we're not perfect. It's like an 80-20 rule. So the more healthy eating you can do, the better your body will work for you. Okay, so I want to see if I can hear you. You look, it's like frozen again. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of information I just threw out there just to fill in some time, huh? Do you have any?
Is this any better? No.
It's not sounding, I can't hear you again. Yes. Okay. Yes, pregnancy and foods. Let's start with foods that expecting moms should avoid. All right. Unpasteurized milk, dairy or raw milk can carry listeria. Deli meats, because the listeria germ grows in cold temperatures.
Right.
Meat has to be heated to 165 degrees to kill listeria. You want to avoid, if pregnant, undercooked meat, raw eggs, raw fish. And remember, raw eggs are in mayo, eggnog, Caesar salad dressing.
Mm-hmm.
Avoid coffee and caffeine, high amounts of caffeine, because it's linked to miscarriages. 200 milligrams of caffeine per day is generally considered to be safe. This is equivalent to like 1 to 2 cups of coffee. So also keep in mind of other sneaky sources of caffeine throughout your day, such as chocolate,
right,
when you're trying to keep it to 200 milligrams a day.
Right.
Alcohol passes
Obvious.
quickly from your bloodstream through the placenta. Yes, some of this is obvious, but and it passes through the cord to your baby. This can harm your developing brain and organs. You know, maybe pregnant moms have heard, doctors are saying, but they don't know why. So I just want to know the reasons. I want answers. So
Right.
Other potential risks of alcohol passing are premature birth, fetal alcohol spectrum disorders, brain damage, birth defects, miscarriages, stillbirths. And let's see what else to avoid. High mercury fish. This chemical can cause damage to the nervous system.
What fish?
So especially the larger fish. So
Which fish are
the larger fish, high mercury fish,
yeah.
Those are shark, swordfish, king mackerel, canned albacore tuna. I think I said that right. And you want to limit yourself to low mercury fish like tilapia, shellfish, canned light tuna are better choices. Okay.
So tuna,
so that's,
if you buy the wrong kind, is bad for you, but if you buy the right kind, is okay.
Limit yourself to the shellfish and the light tuna. Yeah, I wouldn't make a big diet of it, but you can have some with tilapia. People like, but those are the smaller fish too, are lower in mercury.
Okay.
Like your sardines.
Right.
You can have sardines if people like, and maybe people don't like, and they like, well, maybe I'll get to like it if they give it a try. Maybe they've never tried it. Um,
Can you
and can I go into some, oh, are
can
you
you
asking me something? You're breaking.
Oh. I thought maybe you could hear me better now.
Oh, I just did.
Oh,
yeah. What was the question?
Okay. I was just wondering about people in other cultures. You know, like for instance, Japanese. You know, they eat raw fish and during pregnancy, and some cultures have like alcohol during pregnancy. Do you have any like? Can you speak to that? Can you hear me enough to hear that?
Oh, that is a good point.
Right.
Yes. You, boy, I haven't done the research of other cultures to that extent. Yeah, I mean,
I've always wondered that.
I know. Do they alter their? Do they know that?
Right, right. And maybe it's just that they don't know how bad it is. I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe they luck out and their babies are okay.
Right.
We pray that's, Oh, I mean, there's so many factors, like even our environment.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about the gut and toxins and chemicals. We try to reduce, limit as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It like paint, the toxins and chemicals from paint. You want to limit the fumes, so
right.
You don't go painting the nursery. Have someone else do that.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm sure everyone knows about to not take certain medications and before taking over the counter, speak to your doctor.
Mm-hmm.
How about hot tubs and saunas?
Mm-hmm.
The high elevated body temperatures during first trimester can lead to certain birth defects.
Is it only first trimester to avoid hot tubs or the whole pregnancy?
Yeah, I mean, if it tells me the first trimester, see, like my doctor even said, oh, Marsha, you can have a glass of wine. Holidays are coming up. I'm like, why even have a glass?
Mm-hmm.
So I would like, no, I can do without that until after, the hot tubs and things like that until after my baby's born. So if anything, but I didn't know this. I didn't have this education when I was pregnant. Yeah. So there were, even growing up, didn't have the best diet, and I would have bad menstrual cramps. You heard that was on the list. And they were so bad some days I'd miss school. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, in pregnancies, gestational diabetes. I mean, boy, I wish I knew back then what I know now.
So with your changing your diet to help with your tumor, and obviously things like menstrual cramps you just talked about, like are there certain foods that help with certain things, or is it like an overall just eating whole foods and eating better foods?
Yes, it's clean eating. It's food from nature. So if you're like caught of like, well, I don't know what to eat, I mean, I can help with that, but when you're by yourself at the grocery store, you just think, was this from nature, or this made in a factory? Was this man-made? So like, yeah. And the other thing too is don't look at the front of a package, and if it says, oh yeah, I heard trans fats, yeah, they're trying to, you stay away from that. And now labels on the front will say 0 trans fats.
Right.
Well, turn the package over, look at the ingredients. They're hiding it, and it'll be called, if you see high fructose corn syrup, put it back. There's fats. It's very, very unhealthy fats. So labels will guide you with your decisions as well. The less ingredients, the better. Now look at your produce. There's no food label on your produce, right? Okay, so
it's an apple.
You get what you You see is what you get. So when you want to do the perimeter of the grocery store, That's the best. I mean, I
Uh,
do walk down the aisle because I'm going to get my olive oil, my coconut oil, which is down the aisle, or the quinoa and things like that. Um, but going back to how many ingredients on the label, less is best.
yeah.
If there's long words you can't read, then it's preservatives and chemicals. And if you can't read it, you don't want to eat it. Well,
Right.
just put it back on the shelf.
Right. Do you have uh obviously organic is going to be better than non-organic, but if you have to pick and choose organic foods,
Mm-hmm.
the budget, for instance, are
Right.
there certain foods that you would recommend eating organic, especially during pregnancy?
Yes, I would recommend anybody, whether you're pregnant or not, to go
Okay.
on ewg.org and
E-
print out, EWG, Environmental Working Group.
Okay.
And,
I'll post that link, by the way, after this interview, people watching.
okay, and print out the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15.
Okay.
And I believe there's more. I think the site, if you click at the bottom, it says see full list. You're going to get a lot more, but you know what? Stick to the dozen and the 15 for
Okay.
starters, unless you're really looking for a certain item that they'll
Okay.
have. So the Dirty Dozen is the ones you will want to buy organic as
Okay.
much as possible if it's available where you're shopping, the time of the year, season, whatever.
Okay.
Clean 15 means clean. You
That
don't
if
have
you're
to
gonna,
buy
yeah.
organic unless you choose to. That'll help you save money.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me a little bit about I don't know if you I think I told you this. I've been sick for weeks. It seems like forever. My husband's been sick. So
Yeah.
it's just that time of year where, cold and flu season. But are there things that we can be doing to help us? Like we have little kids. Like what are some suggestions you have for cold and flu season for families?
Okay. So people with a depressed immune system or nutrient deficiencies may be more prone to catching the flu or the cold. Stress, lack of sleep, exposure to toxins can also worsen the flu symptoms. It's important to eat healthy. I mean, I can't stress we try our best, right? 80-20. I don't recommend a flu shot as a preventative measure. Now, yes, if you're pregnant, you and your doctor are going to be discussing this. That's a decision each individual has to make with your doctor. But I'm just saying that's not a preventative, Okay. So some home remedies for the flu, vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, probiotics, fish oil, and some light, easy to digest foods like soups with bone broth, cooked vegetables or herbal teas. Oh, hot water with lemon, honey, and cinnamon. That's my big go-to. Ginger tea with some raw honey. Garlic and onions are vegetables that help boost immune system, immune function.
They're our favorites anyway, so.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much eat real food, exercise, get plenty of sleep, reduce stress, avoid sugar because the sugar affects the immune system.
Good to know. All sugars, like even natural, like maple syrup and honey, or
more of the refined white sugars, the
okay.
added sugars, those fake sugars like high fructose corn syrup I was talking about. Yeah. I mean, that if you cut out and start substituting with more of the raw, pure cane sugars, but still limiting that, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
In moderation. And of course, be sure the multivitamin you are on is high quality supplements.
How do you tell which multivitamins are best and probiotics? That was something I was wondering.
Yeah. Since I've been certified as a health coach, I now have a line of high quality supplements because I don't really buy anything at the CVS's anymore.
Mm-hmm.
um, there's isotonics products that is powder that you mix with water that absorbs immediately into your system, so that opposed to a capsule or tablet that will take long or sit in your digestive system and won't get absorbed, and then it's wasted. So if you're not absorbing, because it has fillers and binders, there is there's a certified ISO or something, it should say, but it's hard to, I'll have to send people maybe links of some high quality products.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can, after the interview, we can just post them in the comments.
Yes, and that ISO, I think I want to say it's ISO. I forget. Okay. I want to get the right terminology.
Yeah.
Look for the high quality. Make sure it says that on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, we're letting food be thy medicine. Oh, and keep a filtered water bottle next to you all the time.
My glass jar.
Drink plenty of water. We're supposed to drink half our body weight in water a day.
What? That's insane.
Supposed to drink half our body water. Okay, so now I've been doing this. I can't not drink. Like, my body will say, "Oh, where's the water?" And now it's calling for water.
Wow.
And just like healthy foods, the more you put on your plate and it crowds out the unhealthy food, the more your body wants.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, cravings go away. Your body, you're feeling better.
Right.
Knock on wood, I don't get many colds. I mean, you're building your immune system because you're feeding the body what it needs. It's not foreign. The body doesn't know how to digest the foreign objects I was saying earlier.
Right.
So in your villi, if you eat clean, it opens up again, and your nutrients are being absorbed, and it works the way it should work.
So my husband and I did the Whole30 diet a year and a half ago, maybe. And the way that I felt by the end, I was like, I can eat like this forever. This is amazing.
You see?
Such a difference. But there's also things, like they don't allow you to eat like beans or, things like that we wanted to add back into our diet.
Yeah.
Do you opinion on like diets like the Whole30 or the paleo diet or things of that nature? Do you think some are better than others, or is there a point to them?
I know. I've tried so many diets in my lifetime. And it's the yo-yo diets, and I don't like the word diet. Yeah. What's the first part of the word? Die.
Right.
So although I did study a lot of the paleos and the different eating styles and habits, and a lot of them, what I found, well, let's look at our standard American diet, okay? We want to talk about diet. Standard American diet is SAD.
Mm-hmm.
See the initials, SAD. And I mean, we talk about, even our kids. I think about my kids growing up now. Oh, what did I do? And I don't want to come down hard on myself, but and today they live in a fast food world. Not just the kids, families. the SAD dishes are often so nutritionally deficient and devoid of minerals and nutrients that are needed for proper health. We're really a junk food nation, all laden with trans fats, and additives and excessive sugar. They put sugar in everything, like things that you say, why is it even in there?
Right.
Sugar, they put it in there because sugar is addicting.
I believe that.
Addicting, and they want you to come back for more. But those are empty carbs. You know, the white flour, the white refined sugars, empty carbs, or also called simple carbs. All right, so versus complex carbs. So the standard American diet promotes chronic disease and suppresses immune function. But let's see, let me go back to that complex and simple carbs. Anything made with white refined sugars, like most breads and white rice and potatoes and cakes and cookies, candy, I mean, breakfast foods, waffles, muffins, donuts.
Oh, delicious sounding things.
Yeah. But I have a lot of delicious recipes to substitute those with.
Yeah.
Anyway, so bad. Oh,
go ahead. Finish your thought. Then I have a question.
Okay. So our standard American diet, I wanted to give you a few facts. 55% processed foods, 30% animal products, 11% vegetables, fruit, nuts, and beans, and 4% whole grains. Half of those 11% vegetables consumed is ketchup and French fries. So the amount of colorful vegetation consumed by Americans is less than 5% of a total diet. So yeah, standard American diet food is highest on the glycemic index.
Wow.
That's the glycemic index is a rating system for foods that contain carbs that measures how quickly these foods will cause your blood sugar to rise and signals it to store fat. So that would be the reason why maybe there's, obesity and diabetes and all these ailments. Right. And even parents who do their best to provide healthy foods to their kids can be fooled. So most lunch meats and flavored yogurts and granola bars and juice boxes, they're loaded with preservatives and food coloring and high fructose corn syrup. So that's why the label reading is important, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. But if you do drink fruit juices and your kids drink juices, dilute it with 2/3 of water at least, and maybe that'll help them wean it all off anyway and just drink water.
Right. My kids love water. They drink water all the time.
Oh, good, yeah.
Their next go-to is milk, so.
All right, good.
I'm fortunate that way.
Yeah. So as far as those diets, your question, I'm sorry I'm taking a long way around to get there, but I kind of wanted to touch on that, our standard American diet first, because my clients come to me, we don't talk diets, we just say a healthy eating lifestyle to learn new habits, change the old bad habits, and to consume a balanced diet with high quality protein and healthy fats and complex carbs. And we have beans and lentils on whole grains on mine.
Right. So
for you to put in beans again is not a bad thing.
Right. No. Yeah. And we love beans. So, which is one of the reasons we were like, we can't do this forever, but eating whole foods definitely made a difference.
Yeah.
So, so one of my questions I have for you is, so this kind of eating healthy, whole, real foods
Mm-hmm.
is delicious, and it definitely makes a difference in how you feel and
Right?
your health overall, for sure.
Right.
But for people, so I am a mom to 3 young kids, and I have a business. I'm
Mm-hmm.
busy, and it takes a lot of work to eat that way. Do you have any um,
Yeah.
suggestions or life hacks to help with eating better for busy moms?
For busy moms to eat better.
Yeah.
I know. It takes time, to prep and to
Mm-hmm.
plan, to shop, and prepping maybe what you can do on the weekend, for your work week, let's say, or um, make easy meals in a crock pot so that it's ready at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day. You know, maybe prepare it if you can't do it in the morning. Even prepare it
Mm-hmm.
in the night, the evening before, or
Nice.
um, and cook once, eat twice. Just cook a lot, and
Can you
make.
explain what you mean by that? Cook once, eat twice?
Okay, so what I do a lot is I'll like make a chicken in a crock pot with my vegetables, and then that nice bone broth is waiting for me. So I save that in a container, put it in the refrigerator. We have our chicken and vegetable meal. So I'm actually going to make this tonight because I had my chicken dinner maybe a couple nights ago. And
Uh-huh.
uh, so tonight I'm going to make my chicken soup. So I have broth, I have extra vegetables I can throw in the soup, uh, some wild or brown rice, and tomatoes. I mean, well, just
So it's not just make enough for leftovers, but make something that you can reuse in a different meal.
yes. I mean,
Okay.
if there's one night that you like, all right, there's no time for a meal. Oh, we have leftovers.
Right.
Bonus.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Nice. Um, and then another question that I had, sparked by something you said. You were
Mhm.
saying, like, I have recipes for muffins and all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Is it more beneficial? So, can you just take a recipe for something you love? Like, for instance, my husband loves cookie dough, loves it. Chocolate chip cookie dough is like the best food in the world, full of sugar.
I
Can you
know.
replace things like the refined sugar with things like honey or maple syrup, and
Uh,
that will help make it a better?
yes. Can I say I growing up, oh my gosh, I had a sweet tooth. My mom says, "You're just like your grandfather." So I remember being in elementary school, coming home after school and saying, "Mom, what can I make?" You know,
Yeah,
and I would be baking all the time. I mean, so for me, I'm like, oh, I need my sweets. I need something,
right,
and so I was so like, oh my gosh, I can actually have some, and it's you're not
right,
deprived. You're not deprived. It's just you're swapping what's in your pantry for something
yeah,
healthier. And you know what? And I'm not saying, well, some health coaches say purge it.
right,
And I'm saying take it slowly, especially if you have kids in the house. You don't want to just purge. You have
right,
to start little baby steps. So
yeah,
when something, okay, now we're out of this, and in your mind you're like, I'm going to get the healthier version of this,
right,
and you can still have a healthier chip or a healthier. Oh, I make more. I don't buy commercial cookies anymore, and I know
yeah.
maybe some brands that are better out there, but I just have all these recipes, and I'd rather make my energy bars and homemade cookies, and that I know the ingredients, that I
Right.
bought the ingredients that are in there.
I've heard good things about protein balls, like they're little balls of
Yeah, there's protein,
flax and all
fiber,
sorts
good
of delicious things.
energy, good for
And
you.
like I have a friend who makes them, and her kids are like, they're cookies.
Yes, yes. And,
They're so good.
yeah, if you start your kids young, they're not going to know the difference. They're just going to want your cookies.
Right.
Don't go down the cookie aisle.
Right. Nice. So, just as a side note, one thing I do for my kids, I make smoothies, and they think it's like the best thing in the world. I put like spinach in it. I put avocado in it. Like, they just are like, oh, it's got berries.
Oh, good.
And I like will sometimes put a little bit of honey in there, but yeah.
So and do they know there's spinach in there? Are you hiding it from them, or?
Right. Oh yeah. Know? No, I mean they watch me put it in, but they like it's a normal thing for me to put it in a smoothie.
Right.
They would never eat it.
Good.
So yeah, I sneak vegetables in their diet all sorts of ways.
Perfect.
Which do you have any suggestions on how to do that with kids? Any ways to get them to start eating better?
Oh yes, you're picky eaters.
Mm-hmm.
That is a hot topic, and we're going to have a workshop at Root and Sprout on smart nutrition for picky eaters.
Oh, you are? When is that?
Yes. Oh, Root and Sprout's going to post some dates, so we'll have to be on the lookout.
Okay, you don't have them yet.
Yeah. Everything's just on the table. Workshop. So anyway, I could, give you a little bit of some of the tips in raising non-picky eaters.
Okay.
All right. So let's go back to number one, where we're talking about preparing and making your own foods from scratch. But involve your kids too. At an early age, start them young. Mm-hmm. And, even right from a menu and the shopping list and going to the store. I know moms like to keep their kids at home, but getting them in the grocery store with you, helping you pick those produce, they know what's on their shopping list. Mm-hmm. My daughter made the cutest shopping list for 2-year-old Allie. It was pictures. So if your kids can't read, make the pictures.
That's so fun. I wish I had the energy to do that.
But then when you get back home, you're going to prepare, you can have them help you cook also.
Right.
Like 2-year-olds can do simple things with slicing with a safe, whatever it might be. It could be a plastic slicing bananas. I mean, just, we're going to have more of that in the workshop of what levels, what they can do. But, as a mom,
it's like stir.
They love to stir, right?
Yeah. They think it's the best thing ever.
Measuring and pouring.
Right.
But at least they're active. They're doing it with you. So they're more apt to try it. And give them a choice. Like, all right, so dinner tonight, do you want broccoli or cauliflower?
Right.
And make a choice. It's not saying, well, we're having this. And then you have a struggle right from the get-go. So choices are good.
Sorry for all this over here. I'm plugging my phone in before it dies.
I hope my battery is good too. Let's see. Make it fun.
Right.
Think variety, fun, cookie cutter type. Oh, I saw this snack. It was just veggie dip. I mean, you're going to make it with like Greek yogurt and spices, but they bought these little flat pots to put the dip in. And then the little baby carrots were sticking out. So it looks like you're growing carrots. I mean, it could be.
My daughter would love it.
Put any veggies in there. But I mean, you're serving it with like a little fun thing. I mean, how cute. When I saw that, I was like, oh, that's cute. That's creative. So be creative, have fun in the kitchen with your children.
Nice.
And just remember, they should eat what you make. The family eats together and eats the same.
Yeah.
And when you go out to eat, do not order from the kids' menu.
Right.
As you look at the kids' menu, what did I talk about earlier was the standard American diet foods are on there. The fried
Macaroni, cheese,
mac.
hot dogs.
Okay, yes. Kids love macaroni and cheese. So make homemade.
Mm-hmm.
And you can mince the broccoli or cauliflower in there. You know, like you're saying how you hide some vegetables in your food. I mean, if they're going to see them broccoli, green, okay. Then if they don't, you don't think,
Right.
if they're going to, at the beginning, they're picking, you know, they're not going to like that. So use cauliflower. And
Right.
it won't even show.
Genius.
And I would recommend for the pasta, though, to start switching over from, instead of the white pastas, for more nutrition, get like whole wheat or gluten-free, or the brown rice. And they even heard, I heard lately, and I haven't looked for it yet, but they have chickpeas pasta.
Really?
You'll have to experiment because, you know, they'll probably, I don't know what tastes your kids have, but you'll have to try, you know, certain ones. But I've tried gluten-free. I pretty much use that, gluten-free and whole wheats. And I couldn't tell the difference of gluten-free. The first time I was exposed to gluten-free was at work.
Really?
Yes. And I was
That's
like,
amazing.
Not much difference. You got sauce on it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Especially when you hide it with things like macaroni cheese or spaghetti or whatever, like the sausage.
I know.
Makes
and
sense.
Then, you know, my dad, he's diabetic, and he's in Northern Maine, and he can't find what I'm telling him to go look for. So I remember, what was it when they were celebrating? My sister was going over, my brother was, they were going to make a spaghetti. Oh, it was, I don't know, probably Christmas time or something. And they're like, yeah, we're going to have spaghetti. And my father told me, and he goes, and I can't even eat it. I can't eat too much or my blood sugar goes up. And so I was texting my sister, Nina, you have that veggetti. Get some zucchini and do the spaghetti, right? It's what it looks like, spaghetti. Lightly steam it. Then he can have his sauce. And she says, I made some for everybody, and they liked it.
Right?
They had a little spaghetti on the side, but she did more of the zucchini.
Right.
As a pasta.
I keep forgetting about that as an option.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good.
So good.
I know.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah. No, you're welcome.
Nice. So you have, like you said, you do classes and stuff. You also coach.
Yeah.
And I've linked in the description here of this interview, I've linked to your Facebook page so people can quickly just click on that to get to you. Okay. You said you also have classes coming up at Root and Sprout, the Picky Eaters class. Are there other ones that you have coming up?
Oh, we have a nutrition for kids, 6 to 10-year-olds. They've asked me to teach. And I said, sure. Hey, I'm a past preschool teacher. I'd love to get back in the classroom with kids.
Nice. Yeah. Is that like kids will like be involved in like, is the class for kids or for adults, I guess?
No,
that's
why I asked, will adults be there? And they're like, nope, just the kids, 6 to 10-year-olds. It's at their class. So I'll give them nutrition education. We're going to make a healthy snack, some sort of food. It may not be snack food. We might make, an easy like lunch idea to try, and they can bring home the recipe, and it'll be good. And I want to mention too that the nutrition for picky eaters class that I already mentioned, it involves the label reading.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's why I think I said I'll come back to that. Yes, it includes label reading. I mean, it touches on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Nice.
It's, important.
That's awesome. So any of you that want to hear more and find out more from Marsha, check out her Facebook page. Look at the Root and Sprout Facebook page and see when those classes are going to be. Wait for them to be posted. And sign up for them and get a hold of her to like do coaching with you. There's so many questions I have already. I'm just like everything you say sparks like 3 more questions, and obviously we don't have time today to talk through.
Yeah, by all means, post. Are you using, when you said my Facebook page, are you using the Natural Beauty from Within?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All
yep.
right.
That's what's listed there. So you should just be able to click right on the link. It should take you right to your page. And then there's a link to your website on your Facebook page too.
Yes.
So.
Yes. My website is in process. I feel like it's always when it starts looking good, something happens, doesn't look so good.
Yeah.
But I'll be working on that. I mean, it's functional, but I'm just under construction.
Understandable.
We're still in business. Under construction.
Awesome. Well, I don't want, to take up too much of your time today, but I do have one more question for you.
Yes.
And that is, can you tell me what the most superficial thing about you is?
Oh, the most superficial thing about me. Okay, I confess. I'm a chocoholic.
What? How do you deal with that? Talk to me about this. You've changed your whole lifestyle and you're a chocoholic.
I know, right? Well, good news was I learned that dark chocolate is healthy.
Yay! Woohoo!
Yeah. So 70%, maybe you want to start with 70%. I can go 80, I can go 90, unless if it's not available, then okay, you got 70, I'll take 70. My gosh, there's benefits in dark chocolate.
Yeah.
The minerals and the magnesiums and the, I can, if anybody wants to know the list, I can send you the benefits, what's in the dark chocolate.
I think we list. I love dark chocolate. I'm so happy to hear this.
Yeah, well, people will be like, ooh, I don't like dark chocolate. Well, like children, trying to get them to learn new foods, adults are the same. So start, lower percentages and work your way up. Yes, it's more bitter, but I was a milk chocolate lover. I mean, I don't care what diet I was on. It was like, I got to have my daily chocolate, chocolate, So now, and it's amazing because the quantity I eat now is like one little square and I'm content. Right. And even though it's healthy, it's like I'm not reaching for chocolate. Mm-hmm. But every once in a while, that craving hits, and I'm like, I must be lacking magnesium. I need dark chocolate.
Oh, see, there's
some days. Yeah, so your body will talk to you. Those cravings mean something all the time. So there's so much information I'd love to share. Wow. Education that people lack. I lacked it as a young mom, and but I tell my clients it's never too late, and
a new day,
and then it's later than you think. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm so sorry about all our problems at the beginning, but I'm glad this worked out. And
I know.
So I think I figured out what was wrong on my end, by the way. I tried a new mount for my phone so I didn't have to hold on to it. And apparently it didn't like me. So I had to
try. It was cutting out and making all that. Okay. So I'm glad it wasn't like my Wi-Fi at home or something.
Yeah, no, I was like, are you on Wi-Fi or are you on like 4G or something? Like, what's going on?
I know, right?
Yeah. So my husband's like, try taking it off of the mount because that's the only thing I think that's different. And I did. And
good. We need technology people out there to help. I was like, I saw my son-in-law was signed in when we were having difficulties. I'm like, Dan, I need you. What do I do?
Right. Yeah. My husband's an IT. He's the IT nerd.
Yeah. We need them in our lives.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marsha.
Oh,
we welcome. Good to meet you.
Thank you. Great to meet you too. And thanks for having me, allow me to be in my home. It allowed me to have a client this morning. It just time management, sorry, I changed my mind about you, and thanks for being flexible.
Thank you.
It works. Technology, when you get it to work.
Right. Just, I think I've learned my lesson. Don't try new things.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
kidding.
except for new foods.
Right? Awesome.
All right.
Thank you so much, Marsha. Have a great rest of your Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you.